See that one. Hi, and welcome to the SEO Podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I'm Charles Lewis, Show Internet Marketing Specialist.
Thank you guys for tuning in. You are listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. This is podcast number 152. Yes. As always, there is a tip from the previous podcast. The tip from the previous podcast. You didn't know this one. You didn't know it? You did not contribute to this particular tip.
Okay.
Well, you boy. Even with C, the first three important tasks are keywords, keywords, keywords. With all internet marketing, you really need to be focused on keywords. So that's even true. I wouldn't say more so, certainly not less so, with PPC.
Yeah.
Last podcast obviously was about PPC. For those of you out there who don't know, and I have a hard time imagining there are any, PPC stands for pay per click.
Yes.
We also lump it into something we call PFE, pay for exposure. We'll throw in remarketing, banner ads, pay per click.
I call it all paid search.
PFE,
search. Paid search. Anytime you're paying to get traffic through the search engines, then I call it paid search. But PFE, I like that one too.
Remember, we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers, where our mantra is
don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche. Your voice sounds so much better than my snatchers. If you're some place that will you to tweet, you need to tweet right now. Pick up that phone, pause the podcast, pause something, pick it up, go over to your Twitter account, and you will tweet
Hashtag SEO Podcast 152. Make sure you tag us at it at eWebStyle. That way we can check it, we can retweet it, we can reply to you, and appreciate you for doing it.
And I've got to be honest, there's no tier for this one. We have 7,000 downloads per week.
Yes.
We have 275 likes on Facebook.
Really?
I'll just leave that the way it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
It's better than 10.
Yeah.
And now for our section, the algorithm cataclysm. We don't have any. And reviews. So we got a couple good reviews. There are no... what happened? I found it. Read it next time. Review, which just makes me hungry, and we'll read that one next time. And here's two reviews that were actually
Are you gonna say cataclysm like that every time?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to say it like that.
There's the precedent has been set. So here's first review. Great SEO info. This is actually only 4 stars. Clara Marie. Up-to-date SEO information in a rapidly changing field. I love it on Stitcher. Thanks, Clara Marie. Hit us up on...
people getting it from Stitcher.
Yeah. Stitcher, I guess that's mostly on Android, or I would imagine if you're on an Apple device, then you're probably using iTunes. Clara, go ahead and send us an email so we can give you a little bit of link love, and certainly a is already in order.
Punch in the face.
Here's the next one. This is from Jonathan Roseland. This SEO podcast is the Shiznit Magnifico.
Magnifico.
Yeah. Here we go. Charles was trying to read this earlier. I was like, no. We got to have on-air reaction because this is a really good review. It is 5 stars. This SEO podcast is so gangsta. I feel like it should include instructions for opening a bottle of champagne while in a high-speed chase with the police.
Oh, Diddy and Biggie. Yeah.
They drop SEO knowledge bombs like a B-29 over Nagasaki in 1945.
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
I have already seen some traffic increase as a result from the podcast. For his blog, Limitless Mindset. Go check that out. I haven't had a chance yet.
Limitless Mindset. Okay.
The outro song is awesome, too. Who is that by? It's by CTC, Circle the Cat. It's actually a friend of mine who's a cat who plays drums. and there's a circle of them, and the band is now a straight
Not
line.
a circle, yeah.
So we've had some people ask about that. I've been getting
a lot of people ask about it.
Yeah, I've been getting back to them. I mean, this is an SEO podcast. The extro song, well, it's also intro and extro song is Gold Mine. That's the title. So, it's just very apropos. Also, which episodes do you recommend for vanquishing bounce rates? I will be listening to your other podcast, Unknown Secrets of SEO Analysis. We haven't mentioned that in a while. We actually haven't had a chance to do an analysis in a while. We will be getting back to that shortly. A way to prevent bounce rates.
I'm not sure which one you need to go watch, but overall, you want to if bounce rate is a problem, I think you need to identify first why people are bouncing. Because in some instances, a bounce can be a good thing. If your sales process isn't long, if that site visit is for them to grab some information real quick and either contact you or fill out a form or something like that and then leave, then so be it. You want a high bounce rate. But if your site is informational and you need people to read pages of content or watch a video and take some action and do this and do that, and your bounce rate's high, then you may want to reconsider the path that it takes to get to the content you want to feature and or your layout. People may just be having a hard time finding what you need them to find, and so they're bouncing. In regards to which podcast, all of them. I mean, I have no clue which one we addressed bounce rate on.
Yeah, we kind of mention it here and there, and just to reiterate what Charles just said, we're one of the few web design and internet marketing companies that will say we'll spend tons of time on your website, and we desperately want your users to not spend time on the site, because we'd rather them pick up the phone and give you a call. Typically, you would also. We'd rather them fill out a newsletter and then maybe peruse and see some more stuff, and at least fill a newsletter. So, fill out a form so that they can start get on your mailing list.
Yeah.
I was going to add one other thing. Focus on what it is your CTR is the no, it's CTA.
Brain fart.
Yeah. Focus on your CTA, call to action. Right, so that's something that can help reduce your bounce rate. If if somebody's continually moving through your site, it's very hard for them to bounce. And so if your initial page that they're landing on has really strong CTA, then that'll help a lot. So focus on your CTA and everything else. This is on our Facebook page. I thought it was hilarious. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, so go check this out on our page. Because I always back up my rage with facts and documented sources. This is from the Credible Hulk. Isn't that great? I love that. That is on our Facebook page. You can find us and follow us and harass us, hound us.
Okay.
There was
combination of hound and
hound us. At facebook.com/ewebstyle, twitter.com/ewebstyle, youtube.com/ewebstyle. Ooh, that had like a glow to it. That was good.
That was 'cause my hat was facing the other way.
Also, you can. I didn't know it was like a volume.
Yeah.
And you can also send us an email, podcast@e-webstyle.com. And doing that little section where we're letting you guys know how to follow us reminds me, we are on the businessmakers.com homepage. Russ actually interviewed Charles and I, and the interview came out great in our opinion. Go check that out, thebusinessmakers.com, right there on the homepage. And I got, here's a little motivation to go check out that video. He actually figures out one of our secrets.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Go check out that video.
It was a cool interview. We had a great time. We talked about SEO. We talked about the my latest Google algo changes, SEO rep, and business makers. They do a great job. A lot of interviews on there. So yeah, check it out. Matter of fact, I'll go repost the link afterwards, Facebook it and tweet it and all that, so you guys can check it out.
He's actually interviewed Wozniak.
He interviewed a lot of people. I went through his site.
The dude from In Pursuit of Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a very popular one. All right, let's get to a little bit of news. We're probably going to exceed our Geno time limit, and
most likely.
That's just the way we roll. It's almost the same as popping a top off a champagne bottle while in a high-speed pursuit of
It's gangster.
Gangsta. All right, LinkedIn password leaks. This may have been your blank news. I don't know.
Oh, I did read that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge. They found them posted on a hack site. They weren't posted with usernames, and they already took measures. It's just one of the things when we're putting together complex websites, some of our clients will ask us, so how do we make sure that no one hacks us? And my typical response is, Microsoft gets hacked.
Yeah.
Do you have that budget? No. So we're going to do some really good fundamentals and good principles, and probably if somebody decides that they want the information on yours and they have the skill set, they will get it.
Yeah.
And you just want to make sure that you've got, the teeny boppers. Yeah, cover just the hackers out there who don't really know what they're doing and are just kind of out there mucking around and making a mess of things. Apple may ask for an injunction to stop the Galaxy S3. I've got the Galaxy S2. I'm happy with it. I'm certainly considering it, and that could take it out of consideration since it might not be here in the U.S.
Do you know what patent is involved that they want to prevent it for?
The other reason that I include this is a quote: "The usual ongoing patent infringements." That's just the thing that we've been in court for the last 5 years is the reason they're threatening to stop it.
The usual. Yeah.
The usual suspects. Foxconn workers riot. That's where the iPads are made and everything. There were arrests and damages at the Chenju facility. I think it was Jon Stewart did a great section on Foxconn.
Mm-hmm.
Go check that out. And at the end of it, it's just horribly depressed. They put nets on the first floor outside of the building to catch jumpers.
People who, yeah.
This is classic. Let's treat the symptom and not the cause. The symptom, people jumping out the window.
Yeah, so
let's not change the working conditions. Let's just make sure they can't actually kill themselves. Yeah. And at the end of that skit, that segment, he's like, "So how much are we saving, for this?" 20%.
Yeah.
Our iPads would be 20% more expensive. It's like, wow, I would have thought if you were working people to death, you'd save at least 30 or 40%.
Working people to the point of suicide.
Yeah, and I got this last one. E3 2012 is a gaming event, and I only know the names of 4 of the top 17 games at that event. So I'm no longer a gamer.
Man, I used to be a gamer.
Yeah.
I used to be tough on gamers. I was PS3, most serious. That was my tag, and you could find me online
all the
time. Yeah. And then one day, we do marketing.
Right.
And I'm always on the computer. And so I made that decision, well, if I have time to sit here with the controller, then I probably need to be getting some work done,
yep.
On my computer. And so ever since I made that generalization, I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Well, and then I lost to my son. I used to be the king at Madden. And Madden, all sports games, adventure games, fighting games, I was not losing.
Right.
And when he finally repetitively beat me in Madden, then he beat me in Fight Night, then he almost beat me in basketball and live, I said, okay. I'm done gaming.
That's
handing over the stick.
This is where you understand professional athletes who retire either at their peak or because when you get to the point where for whatever reason motivation or whatever it is life and you can't dedicate the time you used to and therefore you can't be at the level as you used to, you're like, you know what? If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do it here.
Yeah.
And if I can't do it here, I won't do it.
I don't like losing.
I'd
rather not play and not lose than play and lose.
Yeah.
So
it's good that you're not competitive at all. my becoming a non-gamer moment was with Age of Empires, and I just remember it was 2 days in a row. It was one 16-hour game, and I was like, that was dumb. I'm not in junior high and I don't have
that kind of time.
16 hours to throw away on a game. So that was the last time that I here and there. And it's just depressing when you get on now. It's like, I don't know how the controllers work. And every now and then I'm like, hey, Javier, hook me up with some game. And I play it for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Yeah. All right, so we are now into content.
Yeah, so I have I pulled this article here from Search Engine Journal. I thought it was a pretty cool article. Wanted to talk today about link building. I mean, especially with all of the Panda updates and the Penguin updates and everything that's really targeting link farms and bad linking strategies and bad linking tactics and things like that. This list that I found talked about 10 types of unnatural link building tactics. The cool thing about it was that he also offered 10 quality alternatives. And so we'll breeze through those real quick. And I thought it was pretty informative. I wouldn't bring it to you if I didn't. So the first one he talks about, which is keyword anchor text only links. These are unnatural link building tactics. And so what he's saying is that if you have tons of links coming to your site and they're all keyword heavy links using your main target phrase, then that's a little suspect. And Google knows it, and you shouldn't do that. I mean, if you have 100 people linking to your site and they're all linking with your top key phrase, then there's probably spammy. You probably got them in a bad way. You probably paid for them or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, the kind of general point is if you've got 100 links that were created organically, those people aren't going to follow your guidelines necessarily. So you may have 20% of them have links that use your anchor text because you requested it and they did it, and the others you maybe can't even get a hold of. They are just linking to eWebStyle, and that links to eWebStyle.com. It wouldn't necessarily be whatever SEO Houston or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, he goes on to say that usually the website or the business name is the anchor text, or maybe just the word website is the anchor text. Sometimes it's just the URL, and then sometimes it's the URL without anchor text, just the name. And so, and Google recognizes that. And it's the link that's important. They're really taking away how much favor was given to the anchor text. And so, keep that in mind. The alternative to that is mixing it up. As you continue to build links, have some that do have your keyword, have some that just mention your website. And the only way to really do that is by building them naturally. Buying links was number 2. Buying links is a big no-no. If you have to pay for it, then it isn't natural by definition. Makes perfect sense.
Now, here's the question. Should you ever buy a link?
I think it depends on circumstance.
Right. It depends on what your goal. If it's SEO, no. If it's because it's on a good website and could send traffic to your site that would be relevant and could potentially give you a business, absolutely.
Yeah, you need that link.
Yeah. And just make sure it's a no-follow. That way Google won't penalize you.
Well, and then he got into that too about no-follows and follow links later. The alternative to buying links, he says, look for sites that would want to link to you. Right, and then reach out to them instead of just sending them some spam message. Hey, this link to me on this page. I have a PR site that I can link to you on. I get those all the time.
Right.
Instead, compose a personalized email, really quality email, well thought out email, to the powers that be of that site, and hopefully you have some sort of link bait on your site that'll make them want to link to you, and then do it that way. The example given was, let's say you're a wedding photographer. Nope, that's the wrong example. That's the other one. But okay. If your website has useful information about diabetes, then find websites that have a list of resources for diabetics. Right? Not maybe.
Scott Bonner has a website on diabetes.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you do that and then submit them and list them, and in that way you're still related, you're not direct competitors, and it's worth them linking back to you. Blogroll and footer links. This is an unnatural link building tactic. And so he says footer links aren't that valuable because they're at the bottom of the page. They're usually the last ones to get indexed, and they really have no value. Same thing with the Blogroll. He did say that Blogrolls aren't necessarily bad, depending on why you're using them. So if you have a Blogroll and you're linking out to sites that are related to your blog content, or there may be other sites that you also happen to manage or things like that, and you're doing it for the sake of just sending traffic, then great. But if you're doing it for the sake of trying to build links to help with SEO, then it's probably not going to be that effective. I like number 4, easy to get directory links. Big no-no. If you can get a link easily, remember that others can too. And so some of the easiest links to get are directories, especially when there's no human moderation. And so, if you can get a link by just simply submitting something, paying for it, and then automatically shows, then yes, everybody else can too. And usually what happens with those sort of directories is you end up in what they call a bad neighborhood.
Right.
Because you don't know who else is doing that. And so you have a link coming to your site from the same place that has a link going to some porn site or some casino site or online gambling site,
pharmacy site.
Yeah. And so you don't necessarily want to be in that link neighborhood. And so find a site like DMOZ or something like that has a human moderation where somebody has to look at it, make sure it's relevant, make sure it's in the right category, and then you pay. And then they submit it after a review. And that way, it's a more quality link, it's a better link, and most of the bad stuff is probably fished and not put in the same index. Number 5 was blog commenting for links. And so if you're on a blog, you probably know how popular blog commenting is. I'll take this time to say, I hate with a passion spam comments.
Yeah.
I have like 4 blogs that I manage. And every week I have to log in. Well, luckily I added estimate. I don't know why I was tripping on the first one. I was like, why? Because I hadn't added estimate.
Right.
Anyway, on the one that didn't have estimate on it, every week I was logging in and removing like 200 spam comments.
Yeah.
And and they're well thought out. Some of them will get you.
Right.
Because it's probably 3 sentences long, and now I think they've included something that automatically inputs the title of the post in there. And so, because I'm glancing at the comments to see if they've actually read my content before I approve it.
It's called the same thing like on Google Ads, keyword.
Yeah, it's a DKI.
DKI for
spam
comments.
Comment. Wow. Yeah, and so don't do that. Now, what you do want to do, because the comments I love to get is from people who have read the content and their comment actually contributes to the comment. Or
by the way, this is the origin of "Don't be a douche."
Exactly. And so, Matt, that's what he went in to say, that commenting can be a good strategy, but find blogs or other sites that allow comments that are relative to your industry. Actually, take a few moments, read the article, and if you're gonna comment, make your comment trustworthy. Make sure it contributes to what they're offering, and then put your link in, and people will gladly approve it. Generic resource pages and link exchanges. Yeah, if you're still doing this, if that's part of your strategy, then you probably got banded with Farmer and Panda a long time ago. Number 7, spinning content to submit to article directories. Yeah, Panda got you too. So, if you're still taking content and spinning it and trying to place it on several different sites to generate links, why don't you take that same time and effort and write a decent article, come up with some good content, put it on your site, and then blast it out there. Facebook it, tweet it, post it, stumble it, dig it, read it, and then generate traffic that way. You have a much more value. Matter of fact, he goes on to talking about social bookmarking. That's like number 10. And so do that then with your own good content instead of taking the time to spin it, because it's not effective anymore. Setting up social profiles for links. This is number 8. I like this one because we know people who do it. We get clients who come in and they set up social profiles, but they don't use them. And they even have services like Nofollow, which will go out and set up a profile for you on hundreds of different social sites. And these social sites let you link back to your site, but if it won't work if you're not being social. The only way a link from a social profile back to your site has any value is if that social profile is actually engaged and being used and generating content and being retweeted and being liked and being followed. If you just have a social profile with a link to your site and you're not using it, then nothing's gonna happen with it. Always going after follow links and not necessarily no follow links. He went on to say that it's a bit surprising that there are many SEOs who still been trained to accept nothing but follow links. Having a do follow link is like having keyword based anchor text. It's probably a signal there's something fishy with your link profile. Yeah, Google, while they say no follow links don't necessarily pass link juice, I think that link is still indexed. Google still knows it's there.
Yeah. So they have a ratio of follow to no follow links to your website.
Yeah. So probably want to take off some of the pressure in regards to whether that link is followed or no follow. Just generate the link.
Yeah.
If you get the link, then there's some value there. And like I said earlier, number 10 was bulk social bookmarking submissions. So you don't want to submit to a whole bunch of social bookmarks. A whole bunch of delicious and all these sorts of accounts just to have it. What you want to do is create good content, maybe something that's link worthy, something that's maybe entertaining, something that's valuable, something that a lot of people are looking for at the moment. Post it on your site and then submit it to the social bookmarks, as he puts, that are most popular and fit your industry the best. Take the time to build that network and submit a variety of links, including your own. So don't just but don't just submit yours constantly over and over again. Submit other ones that are kind of related, that maybe have other links to your site from those. That way you kind of submit a whole network of links and not just spamming yours. So that was it. 10 types of unnatural link building tactics and 10 quality alternatives. Thought it was a good post. I'll post it on Facebook so you can check it out.
Who was the author of that one?
This one was by Corey North.
Corey North. Cool.
Yeah,
Good job, Corey. We'll make sure to link to that article. Do you have any blank stare news?
Well, I had the LinkedIn deal, and then I thought about Zucker and how they can't seem to get it together. I almost feel sorry for Facebook. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I said almost.
Almost. I'm a couple billion away from feeling sorry for him.
Yeah. So it just sucks that to start off so high and to not only go down but to sharp curve now.
Yeah.
This isn't gradual decrease. This is like roller coaster ride.
Brakes are going out.
Yeah.
Down.
So yeah, get it together. Hopefully.
Well, it's a good thing he doesn't care about money.
Yeah.
Well, cool. You have been listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. Do go out and check out thebusinessmakers.com. If you're listening to this podcast and we're not on the first page, we will be in the archive. That was just we had a great time doing that interview, so go check that out. Actually, there's a comment at the bottom from my dad. I sent it over to my dad, so he's watched it and put a comment. That's kind of cool. And you can follow us, facebook.com/eWebStyle, twitter.com/eWebStyle, youtube.com/eWebStyle, podcast at
e-webstyle.com.
This is the end of podcast number 152. Until the next podcast, my name's Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.